What we need to understand is that the quality of our life is the quality of where we live emotionally. And like we all have a home, and I don't mean like the house that you live in with your parents, your wife, your husband, or whatever. I mean that our mental state has a home, and the one thing you need to try and figure out is where is your home?
You are now tuning in to the Roughnecks podcast with your host, Cole Nixon. Much love.
One last thing before we get into today's episode. A lot of people ask how they can support the podcast. Well, I have a couple easy ways. The first way is just listen and subscribe. And another thing you can do is go follow the Roughnecks podcast on social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube as well. If you get something out of today's show, then do me a favor, share it with a friend. If you really want to go above and beyond to support the podcast, then head over to roughneckspodcast.com and get you some of that merch. I appreciate all of the support, but let's get into today's episode. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Roughnecks podcast. This is episode 112. Still don't know how I am past 100 episodes on to 112. Got a lot of good stuff lined up. Definitely excited about it. But this is Fast Friday number 12, I believe. Let me make a double check on that. But I believe today is Fast Friday number 12, which is kind of convenient that episode 112. No, it is Fast Friday number 13. I lied. All right, Fast Friday 13, but Fast Friday number 13. And for those of you who don't know like what Fast Friday is, Fast Fridays are just quick episodes where I give you guys a little bit of content, a little, bump for your weekend as you guys get ready to go. These episodes come out, of course, at 3 p.m. on Friday. Sorry about the episodes not coming out on their typical, times. I know, Monday's episode came out at, 5 p.m. or something, and Fast Friday, or not Fast Friday, Q&A Friday actually came out on Saturday, but I've been a little, crazy things going on, which is kind of what we're going to talk about. But for those of you who don't know, Fast Friday is where I, just give you guys a little bit of content, but Fast Fridays start off with some announcements. And I only have one announcement today, and it is a big one. It's a good one. It was actually released today as you're listening, if you're listening to this on Friday. Friday, July 8th is when it was released, and it was actually released the morning of July 8th, but in 1 week, on July 15th at 7 p.m., Friday, July 15th at 7 p.m., so next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, you will want to head over to roughneckspodcast.com and check out the new merch that is going to be available. The 2022 Roughnecks Summer Merch Drop is officially coming. I have finally got everything in the works. It was supposed to be in July. Things did not work out the way I wanted them to, but you know what? We're back on track. We getting things where we need them to, and so we have a new merch drop coming. For those of you who don't know, who may be new to the podcast, every seasonal, summer, spring, winter, fall, I release new merch that is kind of related to that stuff. So, and the thing is stuff from the spring merch drop. A lot of it is dropping off the website. I still have it up there currently, but I'll drop a lot of it. Not all of the stuff stays on there. The popular items might stay on there, or they might come back later. But if a lot of the things are going to come down, and you only have a few months to order those items. So the summer merch drop items, they will be out next week, and they'll be up until the fall merch drop. But yeah, I got some new and exciting things coming. Some different style of items, like different t-shirts, like different types of t-shirts per se. And then I have a new design. I've been trying some new things. I got some new things that are not typically like what I normally do or what you'd expect, but I think you guys will like it. So be sure to head over to roughneckspodcast.com on Friday, July 15th at 7 p.m. for the merch drop. It'll be over there. Also, don't forget the 4th of July Roughneck shirt, which is probably going to be relabeled as the American flag Roughnecks or American Roughneck shirt, is part of the summer drop, and it is still on the website if you would like to go order one for yourself. I released those early so people could have them for 4th of July if they would like them. I might keep those on the website for as a, one of the original like nice shirts that people like to buy, or I might not. Let me know what you guys think. But another thing I wanted to ask real quick. I guess it is kind of another announcement. I posted this poll on my story, on the Roughneck story, about Motivation Monday. I want to know what you guys think. Should we get rid of Motivation Monday? Yes or no? I got an overwhelming amount of no's, but I don't, in my gut, I'm wondering what other people think. I want to know what my listeners think. I want to know what you guys think that, are listening. So if you guys want to shoot an email over to info at roughneckspodcast.com, you guys can, about what you guys think about that. And also send your questions for Q&A Friday over to roughneckspodcast@gmail.com. Appreciate you guys. All right, but today's episode, and man, oh man, do I have an episode that is relatable to myself. That's probably why I'm talking about it, right? And today I want to kind of talk about, the thing I think a lot of people don't like to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it. Stress and anxiety, like that kind of shit, man. Me lately, it's been all over the place because, I'm installing a patio at my new girlfriend's house. We're putting a patio out back, which is what I do for a living. And you would think, like, why are you stressed about it? Man, I didn't realize the money aspect of things. And I'm putting a small patio in, and I'm like, man, I don't know how these people, I don't know how they do it. Because I'm like, I don't know, I'm so stressed about getting the materials, getting this, getting that. And I'm like, holy crap, I got so much to do. And, on top of that, like, the money situation, I was off this week. It's a vacation week for my boss. Like it's normal. I have this week off every year, but I feel like, damn, I feel like I need more money. And I'm not a money hungry person, but I just worry about bills, worry about paying a lot of shit. And then on top of that, with the podcast, scheduling all these guests, I got a lot of scheduling done really lately, but I got a lot to do. Worried that I don't have an episode for Monday, the merch drop coming up, all this stuff that I need to get done. And it just feels like everything is overwhelming and like you can't keep up. But like, how are we supposed to handle that stress and anxiety when we feel like everything is piling up on us and we can't keep up and nothing in our life is going right? I think the first thing to do is just take a step back, relax, take a deep breath, just smile. As my girlfriend told me, I have to give her credit. She looked at me and goes, smile. And I was like, you kind of get that relief, like, all right, take a breath. You're all right. She's constantly telling me my own advice, which it's hard to take your own advice sometimes, but I've been so stressed out lately. And, sometimes you just have to take a deep breath and smile and breathe. And it's the best advice that you can get, really. But then I happen to look down at my wristbands, and I'm not even trying to do a promo here, say anything specifically, but, I wear these wristbands every single day, 24/7. They hardly ever come off. And it's Grab the Bull by the Horns, the wristbands, which I still have available if anybody would like one. I have them in red and black. But, they say grab the bull by the horns. And if you're new to the podcast, or if you're not new to the podcast, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But some of you may not remember, but like we have to remember that, or some of you may not know because you're new to the podcast, but we have to remember that we are in control of our life and no one else. The whole thing behind Grab the Bull by the Horns is we are the bull rider, and that bull is life. And that bull is going to knock us down just like a bull does to a bull rider. We're going to get thrown off. We're going to get knocked down. But you have your options are you can stay there and let that bull of life walk all over you, or you can get the fuck up and take control of your life. Grab the bull by the horns and take control of your life. You are in control of your life, no one else. Stop acting like if everybody owes us something. I hate that. We're all, I that pity party of, they owe me this. I should get this because of this. You earn everything you get. You earn the results you didn't work for as well. What we need to understand is that the quality of our life is the quality of where we live emotionally. And like we all have a home, and I don't mean like the house that you live in with your parents, your wife, your husband, or whatever. I mean that our mental state has a home, and the one thing you need to try and figure out is where is your home. Angry people will find a way to get angry even if their life doesn't let them be angry. Sad people will find a way to be sad. Caring people will find a way to care for others. It is all in your mindset that we have to that's what we have to try and understand. Where are you living? What is your home? Now I know some of you might say, yeah, well, I get mad about this, but I'm genuinely a happy person. Yes, we have stress in our lives. Stress is normal. You're going to, I mean, you just get stressed going through traffic. You get stressed when you feel behind. Like you're going to have types of stress that will appear. And if you don't have any stress, in my opinion, you're not pushing yourself enough. You are not getting outside of your comfort zone. If you have a positive attitude, it is pretty much a positive response to stress, in which you cannot avoid. It's grabbing the bull by the horns and taking control of your life. Stress is unavoidable. That is something that we need to understand first. Stress cannot be avoided. But if you learn how to manage that stress so that you were able to move forward, so that you were able to keep pushing and be better for yourself, for your kids, for your spouse, for your family, for your friends, whatever it is, that's, you got to learn how to manage. But how do we manage that? Now I have, some ideas that I'm going to offer, but it may not be the best way for everybody. I need people to understand that just because I say it doesn't mean it's the best thing and it's going to work 100% of the time. Everybody's different. Take what you want from these ideas and make it your personal, like make it fit for your personal preference. The first thing I want to recommend is wake up early. Too many of us are sleeping till 10 and we're like, oh, it's not that bad. Can't sleep till 10. I recommend waking up before 8, preferably like 6 or 7. If you can do earlier, do earlier. And that means even on the weekends. I know some of you are like, but the weekends is my time to sleep in. There is no time to sleep in. Get in a routine to where you wake up before 8 o'clock on the weekends too. And when you wake up, some people like to do this at night. I preferably like to do it in the morning when I can. I will do it at night if I have to. Do something to improve yourself. I think, journaling is very important. I think it is very important to journal, once every day, once or twice every day, because then you get some of your thoughts. And it is cool too to look back, because I think a lot of us forget, we're not happy with where we are, but we're definitely better than where we were. And your journal can help remind you of that. Help remind you where you're at, and it can also help you get stressed out. And reading is very important for your mental state, for your vocabulary. It's very important. I recommend, even if it's something that is strictly for you, I read a lot of books that are, self-improvement type books. Like, I can't even think off the top of my head. The one I'm reading currently is Phil Robertson, Uncanceled. But, I have a bunch of other books that I like, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or whatever, like, a ton of books like that. Endure by Cameron Haynes, whatever. You find the books that are for you and try and read just 10 pages a day. 10 pages a day. It's not that hard. Just 10 pages. Because what you'll find is if you start reading 10 pages a day, if you force yourself to stay consistent and read 10 pages a day, that's a 300-page book in a month. Now, most of us aren't reading 300-page books. That's 300 book, or a 300-page book. You could read a lot of books if you read just 10 pages a day. Get on that schedule. Try to read 10 pages a day. And what you'll find is that you'll start reading more than 10 pages. You'll read a chapter a day instead, or you'll finish a book in a day. It is very important to try and read 10 pages a day. Another thing is exercise. Go work out. Go for a walk. And it could be very simple. Like, you don't have to do anything crazy, but the big thing too, when we start to feel stress and anxiety and, depressed or whatever it is, a lot of us are stuck inside. That's why, the winter months, or a lot of people are, because they're stuck inside. But it is very important to get outside. Go for a walk. Just sit outside on a chair, on your back deck, whatever. Enjoy a beer. I don't care. In the morning when you're doing your journaling and you're reading, go sit out on the back deck or on the front porch, on the rocking chair, whatever it is. Go do what you have to do, but try to be outside. That fresh air is important. And I've also noticed that, I don't go to the gym as much. I don't really go to the gym at all anymore, but my job is a workout in itself. I'm outside all day carrying heavy stuff, shoveling gravel, wheel bearing, whatever it is. I've realized, I wasn't at work this week. I think that's part of the reason some of that stress came up. I'm not getting that energy out. I'm not exercising per se. But it is very important to get outside and do things. And another thing I like to do is, plan out your day. Now, I struggle with this part because I like to have a schedule, I like to have a plan, but I overdo it. So don't overdo it. Find the three most important things that you want to get done and get them done. The three most important things. Now, don't get 3 giant things that are going to take 4 hours apiece. Find 3 things that even if one big thing, 2 little things, whatever it is, find 3 things that you need to get done and get them done. Make sure they get done. And these things could be like read. Make sure I read 10 pages today. When we're feeling stress, when we're feeling anxiety, reach out to your friends. You don't have to go talk to them about it, but hang out with your friends. Because what you'll realize is that some of that stress and anxiety starts to disappear. Be with friends. Be with family. When you go to bed every night, find something to do before you go to bed that will improve yourself. Whether it's reading, journaling, watching a video over something that you're interested in, researching something, whatever it is, find something that will improve yourself and do that before you go to bed. Take these ideas if you like them, try them out. Let me know what you think. The important thing is, people, that we have to understand is stress is unavoidable. But how we manage that stress is what's important. You have to remember to grab the bull by the horns. And that's all I got for this week for Fast Friday number 13, not 12, 13. But don't forget, until next week. Next week we'll have another Fast Friday, and it is also the spring's over. Summer merch drop. Summer merch drop 2020, Roughnecks 2022. Good Lord, I am struggling. 2022 summer. 2022 Roughnecks summer merch drop Friday, July 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Don't forget to go check out roughneckspodcast.com on that day. But until next week, you guys know the deal. Life is hard and it's going to knock you down just like a bull does to a bull rider. Don't let the bull of life walk all over you. Get up and grab the bull by the horns and take control of your life. Roughnecks, out. Thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Roughnecks Podcast. If you liked today's episode, then be sure to subscribe, rate, and review, and share it with a friend if you got some value from it. Head over to social media and follow the Roughnecks Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe to that YouTube channel. Don't forget to get you some of that merch by heading over to roughneckspodcast.com and subscribe to the newsletter while you're there. See y'all next week. Roughnecks, out.